Welcome back. In today's mental health check, we're talking about embracing alone time.
Being alone without dreading it, right, can be difficult for some of us, but it can really have a positive impact on your mental well-being. And here to talk about that is psychotherapist Dr. Robi Ludwig. Dr. Robi, if you're maybe afraid of spending too much time alone, how do you get past that?
Well, I think, first of all, there's a difference between being lonely and spending time alone. And sometimes people confuse those two ideas. And to know that spending time alone really is a time of self-reflection. It can be a time to really get to know yourself, and it's almost like rebooting. So really spreading that idea that this is a good thing for you to think about yourself and know yourself, that could be a great place to start.
And you said it, right? It's a good thing. What are some of the benefits of solitude for your mental health and maybe even your physical health?
It's good not to be distracted by others. We have so many things coming at us, and we feel like we need to please certain people or be a certain way. When you're alone, you can just be with yourself. I had a patient recently say, you know, I was alone walking in the park, and I realized something about myself that really helped me to treat myself better. So there are insights to be gained, and you can think about what's working in your life. You can be creative. You can be more productive by thinking about things you want to do and include in your life. And just knowing that you can be an independent person and like being with yourself sometimes is also very important to our mental well-being.
Yeah, that all resonates. I go for runs alone a lot in the morning, and I find it's even better if I don't put my headphones in, right? Because then I can really be in the moment and mindful. Talk about what we can do to kind of make the most of that alone time.
I think to really plan it out. So if you do have alone time, I know sometimes people get overwhelmed. I don't know what to do. So plan that in advance. Like maybe it's listening to a podcast. Maybe it's attending to a book that you always have wanted to read, or listening to music, or just learning something about yourself. Like what do I want to learn during this time by myself? So using it in a way that is productive and advances your goals for yourself.
Yeah, I know a lot of my friends talk about you don't want to just hang out with other people or go on dates. You should date yourself, get to know yourself, spend time with yourself. And we talk a bit about burnout on the show and mental health. What are some of the signs that, ooh, you know, I might need to spend a little more time alone?
Yeah, if you feel irritable, or you notice you're feeling depressed, or you have no energy or motivation to do anything, it probably means that you have too much on your plate. And that's the time to look at what you're doing, reassess what you're including in your life, and learn how to say no and set boundaries. I was saying recently in New York City, there's so many great things to do. Sometimes it's learning how to say no to all the great things and figuring out another time. There's always another time.
Yes, that's so key.
Yeah, for people who are in relationships, how do you tell your partner? I mean, my husband likes to be alone a lot, so sometimes he'll be like, I just want to do this by myself. But how do you do that?
I think you do it in a way that doesn't feel personal or offensive. So you could say, you know what, I'm feeling like I need time to regroup. I don't want to attack anyone. I don't want to be mean. I don't want to push you away. So would it be okay if I took the afternoon and got a manicure? Or is it okay if I took the afternoon and just went into the park and took photos and just was with myself? And I think if you can make it not personal and it's not because of them that you want alone time, that can be tremendously helpful.
And of course, we're talking about the joys of being alone, but of course there's something called too much alone time, right? I think a lot of us are familiar with that with the COVID pandemic.
Yeah.
So what are the signs there?
So it's basically a balance, but if you feel that you're spending so much time alone that you're focusing on everything that's wrong. So I say with illness, it's focusing too much on the I. And if we're going too much into that place, everything in life is a balance. You can say to yourself, I'm spending too much time alone. I need to get out and connect with other people. We do need to be distracted sometimes from ourselves, but we also need to pay attention to ourselves. And there's a time for both.
We are social beings, right?
We are
We
social
do need
beings.
some social time, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's that balance that we all need to keep, I guess.
Absolutely. Dr. Robi Ludwig, thank you for this. This is so important.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it so much. There's